Ladies and gentlemen, let's please settle down. Let's please settle down. May we please have everybody entering into the training room, please. May we please settle down, everyone? Okay. All right. Apologies for the late start. As you can see, we've just been having a few minor logistical issues. But distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you all. I would like to take this wonderful opportunity to welcome you all to the specially arranged closing bell ceremony to commemorate the debt issuance of United Capital Fertilizer Zambia Company Limited on the Botswana Stock Exchange. My name is Khotla Sehwe. I'm the market women specialist here at the Botswana Stock Exchange, and I'll be guiding this afternoon's very short proceedings. Before we begin, kindly allow me the honor and the privilege of acknowledging the presence of the following. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge our host this afternoon, the Chief Executive Officer of the Botswana Stock Exchange, Mr. Thapelo Theole. I'd also like to acknowledge Chairman of United Capital Fertilizer Zambia Company Limited, Mr. Chance Kabahe. Kabahe, is that correct? Apologies for that. Thank you very much. I'd also like to take this opportunity to welcome UCF board members here present, BSE management and staff. I'd also like to acknowledge UCF Deputy CEO, Mr. Roy Mwamba. Good afternoon, sir. I would also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge key stakeholders within the ecosystem of Botswana's capital markets, members of the media, members of the public, distinguished guests. A very good afternoon to you all. Good afternoon. Thank you very much. We have convened here this afternoon to acknowledge the debt issuance of UCF on the Botswana Stock Exchange. This is a listing of a new bond, which is UCF CPB 0224A. This Series A Tranche 1 is issued under the UCF 500 million multi-currency medium-term note program that has been issued here on the BSC. As this is a historic moment, during the ceremony we will be highlighting the significance of this issuance to our market here in Botswana, as well as ascertain information on how this listing aligns with the strategic objectives of UCF. As you will appreciate, you have agendas right in front of you. Let me just quickly peruse through before we invite the first speaker to the podium. Firstly, we shall have the welcome remarks. These will be delivered by the Chief Executive Officer of the Botswana Stock Exchange, Mr. Thapelo Theole. Subsequent to that, we shall have the official remarks. This will be delivered by the Chairman of UCF, Mr. Chance Kabahe. And then at 9:50, we shall have our official bell ringing, where we shall invite our distinguished speakers as well as board members from UCF. Subsequent to that, we will have a photo opportunity, and then, of course, the closing remarks, which will be delivered by Mr. Roy Mwamba, who is the Deputy CEO of UCF. So, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we are running behind schedule, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome the BSC CEO to the podium, Mr. Thapelo Theole. Let's please give him a round of applause.
Good afternoon. I'll start by recognizing the presence of the ambassador of Zambia to Botswana, Excellency Chisanga.
Absolutely.
You are welcome, madam. Let me acknowledge the presence of the board chairperson, United Capital Fertilizers Zambia Company Limited, Mr. Chancellor, the CEO, Deputy CEO, all board members here present from UCF, as we commonly know the company, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, including all those who made this transaction possible in terms of intermediaries and transactors, lawyers, accountants, transfer secretaries, you name it. Members of the Fourth Estate, media, let me take this opportunity to say to you good afternoon and welcome to the BSE and welcome to the Republic of Botswana. I think for those of you who are coming here from outside. And especially those of you who are coming here for the first time, welcome to Gaborone also. From the BSE perspective, I think it's quite a happy moment for us to witness a listing from the UCF, especially that it's a significant program that is have been approved, $500 million US. And I think, like other companies in recent years, this is testimony to the fact that the BSE it's a very recognized exchange. We have increasingly received a number of listings from regional companies. Most of them will be coming up also in the coming year. And I think UCF have set a clear example ahead of the others that Botswana is a market that you can look at in terms of listing and also in terms of the capital raising. It's very significant also to UCF to be listed on the BSE, because I think we have worked so hard over the years to increase the stature of the market. And we can acknowledge that I think the good friendship of Botswana people and Zambian people come from afar. And it's also befitting that as exchanges, we also accommodate some of the regional giants like UCF. And also to note that ordinarily we normally do opening bells. I think this is the first ever closing bell that we did, mainly to accommodate travel logistics, because I understand some of you might have to go back to Zambia and other places quite early tomorrow. And it's quite important that we had to really accommodate you. And feel at home, enjoy the hospitality of Botswana. And I think we at the BSE are looking forward to a very great partnership going forward, and hope that we will take this forward by an equity listing possibly, so that we cement our relationship. We have seen a very significant increase in the bond market, in the Botswana market this year. The number of instruments that have been listed on the debt went up by almost 100%. And we have seen an increase in the class of fixed income instruments, being your plain vanilla bonds, and also the rise in the commercial paper market. And I think we still continue to do a lot of work to develop the debt market in Botswana. With those few remarks, may I take this opportunity to congratulate you on your achievement of this listing, to welcome you to the Botswana Stock Exchange, and also to Botswana for most of you who are coming from outside, and hope you'll have a wonderful time here. And then, Master of Ceremony, should I invite the next speaker? Yeah, may I take this opportunity to invite the board chairperson to say a few remarks. I thank you.
Thank you. Good. Thank you very much, our colleague, the Chief Executive of the Botswana Stock Exchange. Let me recognize, among many that my colleague has already recognized, the Ambassador, High Commissioner to Botswana from Zambia. We are extremely happy to have you here and your team to witness this momentous development in our country. Let me also recognize colleagues on the board who are here. There are 2, 3 of them. And also colleagues from the wonderful group of companies, both on the boards and also management. I am happy to see that we have press from both Zambia and indeed, Botswana. We are excited as United Capital fertilizers to be here this afternoon. We've come from a long way as a company. We've been very innovative, and we've just reached a point where I think we've developed teeth, whereas we are, immediately we are born. We are already making impact, not only in Zambia, but in the region as a whole. We are very confident that this impact is not only for now or tomorrow, but it's an everlasting impact in terms of agricultural development, not in Southern Africa, but Africa as a whole. We do all know that our presidents throughout Africa, they had their initial meeting in Dakar. That's first week of February this year. It was the Food Summit of Presidents, which was hosted by the African Development Bank. At that meeting, they declared as presidents of Africa to make sure that Africa is food secure, to make sure that Africa will stop importing food from outside. That was their declaration. Indeed, that was followed up in July by another key food summit that was held in Lusaka. I was privileged to have been part of those meetings. I think time has come for Africa to feed itself. Yes, we may have a deficit in one area, but in totality, at continental level, Africa should have enough food through intra-African trade. At the Malawi Declaration and also Maputo Declaration of CADIP, colleagues, that's Comprehensive Agricultural Development Program for the whole of Africa, it was again resolved that intra-African agricultural trade should triple by 2025. It should triple by 2025. So the part that UCF is doing is partly to actualize that vision of our presidents of Africa. For us as UCF, we feel very excited, Chief Executive, to have been allowed and accepted to list on the Botswana Stock Exchange. We have indeed looked all over. There are so many stock exchanges in Africa. But Botswana came number one, top on our agenda. And we're happy that this is mutual business. Our partnership with Botswana, politically, economically, started long time ago. And this is a continuation moving forward as two countries. Yes, it has been a journey with many partners. All of you have contributed to where we are today to actualize the listing of our bond on Botswana Stock Exchange. What basically this listing means, colleagues, is that UCF is going come next year in terms of urea production. We'll be producing 100,000 metric tons. In 2025, we're moving to 300,000 metric tons. In terms of D-compound, come next year, we'll be at a level of 800,000 metric tons. All that's far beyond the requirements of Zambia. It's far beyond the requirements of Zambia. So that plant is a typical plant for the region. Now, again, our listing, therefore, means that we're going to be liquid. We're going to move very quickly to make sure that especially our urea plant, including operational costs, will be made available to us to fasten the process of developing our urea plant in Lusaka. Yes, we are responding to the core by our presidents. Now there will be fertilizer in the region. With seed already developed to some very high level, we think with seed and fertilizer in place, there should be no reason why this region cannot feed itself and beyond. So we really would like, especially colleagues, media from Zambia, and indeed within, we are calling for many other companies, not only in Zambia but in the region, to take a cue on what USF has done. I think we can, instead of just waiting for government to mobilize resources through our central banks, we can do it as individual companies, not only in Zambia, but in the region as a whole. So to us, I think we're probably the first company in Zambia to list in this manner on the Botswana Stock Exchange. So it's innovative, it's pivotal, it's exciting, and would like all of you colleagues who are here and the others outside who are part of this progress to be very happy and appreciate what you have done. The ambassador of Botswana in Zambia, the ambassador of Zambia in Botswana, our president of Zambia, president of Botswana, they've all been talking together to actualize this. So we are all here not in vain. Let's enjoy this occasion. Yes, there will be $500 million that will be made available to UCF. And we didn't want to go to anywhere else looking for money when we know that your stock exchange here can give us good money at good rate. So this is a beginning of working with you, colleagues. As we are talking, we've just finished the export of 15,000 tons of D compound to Botswana. That's again a milestone. Zambia has never exported any fertilizer since its independence. We, as we're talking, exporting 30,000 metric tons to Tanzania, to tobacco growers who wanted special fertilizer for them. We've done it. I'm very sure we'll be also start, not long from now, exporting to Botswana, to Zimbabwe. So already we are a regional giant. So anybody who really will be involved in this particular bond, I can assure you, you are putting your money where you cannot make a loss. You will reap for your investment on this particular bond. So let's enjoy ourselves and witness the launch of this very special bond in the fertilizer business for not only Zambia and Botswana, but for the region as a whole. It is for all of us, not just Zambia and Botswana. All of us are going to benefit for this. It's just a starting point. More and more will be required as we move forward. God bless you all. Thank you very much for your attention.
Distinguished guests, let's please give Mr. Kabahe a very huge round of applause for that captivating address. Distinguished guests, we're going to be moving forward with the official bell ringing. So at this point in time, I would like to invite all UCF board members as well as management to please join us on the podium for the official bell ringing. So all UCF board members as well as management, please come join us with our distinguished speakers. Ambassador as well, definitely. Thanks so much. The media, I hope you're ready. All right, media, I hope we're ready. So I will count it down from 5. When we hit 0, please ring the bell. Subsequent to that, please be very generous with it. You can hand it off to somebody next to you to also be a part of the moment. So the media, are we ready? All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You may ring. All right. All right. Please stay on stage. We will be having an official toast. Let me just hand over the glasses. So we can.
Can I carry this to Zambia?
I was about to ask
You broke a peta. What is that small fish?
Yes.
You broke a peta.
CEO says we exchange with Capeta. I'm watching the bell.
The CFO is there, otherwise we won't have
Okay. We shall have a few words by the chairman, Mr. Kabahe. Propose a toast, please.
Thank you. Colleagues, this is a very special time in the history of UCF. And the listing requires a proper toast to us and the Botswana Stock Exchange. Cheers.
Cheers. Let's have a very rude hand of applause to that. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Distinguished guests, we are coming to the conclusion of our short ceremony. At this point in time, I would like to invite the Deputy CEO of UCF, Mr. Roy Mwamba, who will be delivering the closing remarks. Let's please give him a very huge round of applause.
Thank you. Yeah, the High Commissioner of Zambia to Botswana, Madam Pamela Chisanga, Your Excellency, the board chair of the United Capital Fertilizer, CEO of Botswana Stock Exchange. I also want to recognize the CEO of Pangea from Zambia, Securities from Zambia. This is a mark of confidence, the security advisors of Zambia here, Pangea. The board members of United Capital Fertilizer, board members of the wonderful group of companies, subsidiaries, government officials present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and our dear colleague, the press. I think I'm overjoyed and thrilled to stand here, having reached this milestone. Mine is a simple story of the genesis of the United Capital Fertilizer. It started by a vision, and this vision cannot be told. I want to invite my group CEO, Mr. Hwang Yauchi, to also come and stand along with me. I have a privilege to invite him to come and stand with me. Mr. Wang Yaochi came into Zambia about 11, 12 years ago. He scanned the market around Africa and realized, how can I be of use? How can I increase in the investment? How can I promote trade within Zambia and within the region? And he decided to sit into Zambia. Zambia sits in the middle of the region. The strategy was not to save Zambia alone. The strategy was to save the region. And what you witness today, colleagues, is actualization of his dream, which is a dream of the wonderful group of companies. Investment into Zambia, then scan again. How then can we recapitalize our investment? How then can we grow the investment to service the region? We looked at the market again, which is the appropriate market where we can raise the capital. And Botswana CEO stood out. So what you witness today is actualization of integration of capital raising and an opportunity to give the region a stake and also a share into the development and operation of UCF. So capital raised from Botswana, investment into Zambia, product sent to the entire region. So Botswana and Zambia now plays a vital role, because on one hand is the money from Botswana. On the other hand is the actual machine that is producing a product that is required for the region. We say United Capital Fertilizer, fertilizing Africa. And how do we get to Africa? We said, can we first saturate the region? Yeah. How do we saturate the region? Can we first raise much more money? How do we raise money? Can we find a neighbor around us with the capacity to do that? And your stock exchange CEO gives us that we want. So what are we doing now? We start a journey together. We raise money, we produce, and then my board chair just mentioned, we just concluded the supply of 15,000 metric tons into Botswana. Produced in Zambia, delivered to Botswana, products from Botswana exported to other regions. We are doing the same for Tanzania, 30,000 metric tons. Soon we'll go to another neighboring country. So fertilizer produced in Zambia, delivered to other countries, products delivered, produced from all those countries, and then exported. Export, we want now Africa to export into Middle East, into Europe, thanks to Botswana and Zambia. So, CEO, the dream can start by one man, but the team around that one man will build that dream to actualization. And Botswana is part of that team that is actualizing the dream. And today we stand and celebrate together. Both the wonderful group of companies family, Zambia as a country, Botswana also as our brother and the country, but together as a region. This is a milestone and a veritable and a very, very, very important milestone for our country, because today now we're able to see and actualize that which we've been dreaming, that which we've been wanting. Fertilizer has been a Middle East, has been a European transaction, a European business, and only imported into Africa, into our region. Now fertilizer comes out of here. We create what we call in logistics a hub and spoke. Zambia becomes a hub with the financial support from Botswana, and a spoke, it means the fluxes that goes into other regions. So let us celebrate together. Much more celebration comes in the evening when UCF and Botswana Stock Exchange will host you for a cocktail, so that we can interact and get to know much more. So I think I'll ask Mr. Wang just to say thank you to you all before we can close.
Thank you very much for everybody who are here to supporting us. So like we said, United Capital Fertilizer is fertilizing Africa. So with the support from Botswana Stock Exchange and all the press from Zambia, together we can win. So in Africa, fertilizer, the food security is very, very important. So let's working together. In the next few years, we don't want anyone to say in Africa we still have hunger. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And over and above that, we want to thank you all who have come to witness this. And we invite you all to the evening cocktail so that we can interact and even share much more of the information about what you have witnessed today. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mahima.
Let's please give Mr. Mwamba a very huge round of applause. This is indeed a very historic moment and a very beautiful story by UFC listing on the Botswana Stock Exchange. Please be aware that information on that issuance can be accessed on the BSC website. As he did highlight, the ceremony has been concluded. We do have some refreshments as well as some snacks for you in the boardroom. So we will continue the conversation as well as mingle and network. And then, of course, this will continue on to the gala dinner later on. So at this point in time, I'd like to thank all our distinguished speakers, including the ambassador as well, for being a part of this moment. At this point in time, I will invite you to head over to the boardroom. Everybody else, you may join them subsequent to that. Thank you very much for your attention.